Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on board.
Good
Welcome to the
evening.
Swift Institute. So glad to have you here
Yeah.
tonight. It's a great time to actually have another in depth conversation. And tonight, we are looking at a very, very interesting topic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
let's start on this note. The workplace is not just all about performance, the workplace
Okay.
is all about visibility. But the truth of the matter is, most high performers are invisible. Some of the most competent performers, one thing that they do wrong is the fact that they keep their work on the ground. They don't keep their work where people can see it. You know, these people we are talking about, they solve the most hardest problems. These people are the people that without them, decisions cannot be made. But the truth is, when promotion time comes, their names are not on the list. Competence without visibility is silent frustration. And that's why we're having this conversation tonight
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
office politics, visibility at work. And I'm not doing this alone tonight. I'm doing this with a very reputable human resource consultant in the person of Mr. David O. Jacobs. Good evening, Mr. Jacobs. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Mr. Victor. Good to have you with me here. I'm so happy to be here. We're doing great here.
Amazing, amazing. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Jacobs, talk to us. You have one-on-one contact with the internal mechanics of promotion, recognition in your work as a human resource consultant. Tell us your experience. What have you seen with people who are highly competent but invisible? Talk to us about our topic today.
Okay. The topic is something I can actually relate with, not just in the aspect of serving people or coming in contact with people. I had in the past been a high performer with low outcomes. So to say, it was a horrible experience. Is a level where anybody wouldn't want to. In a layman's language in Nigeria, in a typical Nigeria, we say it will be an experience like walking like an elephant, eating like an ant. So it's a horrible experience. And most times you go not knowing why you are not visible. You put in your best, you do a lot of work because the illusion there has always been like, if I put in more work, I'll be visible. But at this point in time, it's no longer about more effort, more work. It's now about framework, how what you're doing is structured, no longer what you're doing. Because the more you keep trying to do more, you get into active inertia. Active inertia, I'll paint an illustration to explain it in business. Active inertia is like somebody in the pit who keeps digging the pit. Hence, you're in the pit and you keep digging the pit, you keep falling inside the pit. So, what you do first is you come out of the pit and now begin to think of how to close the pit. So, what hello?
Yes, I can
Are you
hear you.
there?
Please go ahead. Yes, yes. You froze for a minute. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It's progressional. You have to come to yourself, the realization that I need to.
I think the network, we're having some network glitch, but yes, I want to say a very big thank you to Gideon King, who is
Check where I.
please, if you're in the chat box, kindly drop a message. Let's just give me a yes. Let me see your participation. Let me see if you're catching us directly. I think the network is really an issue here. But while we wait to have him back, on our subject today, the truth is some of the most competent people, in organizations, they are not. Thank you, Andy. I see you, Andy. Thank you, Gideon. Thank you so much for your response. Yes. While we wait to have him back, I think he's having some network glitch here. So while we wait to have him back, the truth is some of the most competent people in organizations, they don't lack talent, and this and they remain under-leveled because their works are not seen. And this is the basis of our conversation today. Welcome back, David. Please go ahead. We're catching up.
Okay, sorry for interruption. Network, glitch, kind of. So I was saying something. First, the realization of I need to, so to say, evaluate what I'm doing, where I am, and how I have been doing it. So as to now begin to know why you are not visible. But if you continue to do it, be where you are, thinking things will change, it will not change. So, which is one of the reasons why we are here. I think I will bring in Swift now. When I came in contact with Swift, are you there?
Go ahead. I'm here. Go ahead. I'm here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened for me, it was a defining moment. I needed to ask myself the question, what have I been doing? Why have I been doing it? And then why have I been doing it? And then how have I been doing it? First, what have I been doing? Why am I doing it? Which is the motive behind what I'm doing? Then third is how I have been doing it. We go about asking questions. How? How do I do this? How do I scale up? How do I get visible? But until you ask yourself and get the answer of why am I doing this? Which now has to tell you about purpose for which you're doing that. Until you understand why, you cannot know how. So this is where you now begin to embrace a turnaround. First, by asking these questions. So, and one thing you would know, when you ask this question, definitely it will take you back from your beginning. The issue of visibility, to me, I'll call it opportunity for new beginning. It doesn't mean what you did in the past were wrong or you weren't doing anything. No. So, but it's now an opportunity to have a new beginning. Now, first, beginning now have to do with you identifying yourself first, going back to who you are, because what you do is a function of who you are. Most times we carry wrong identity, wrong personality of ourselves, and then you want visibility. It will clash. Your functionality and your identity are not in harmony, they are not in sync. So definitely you can't get visibility, because visibility is all about the capability to be seen. It could be by illustration. Let me just say, as funny as it may appear, it could be you are Victor, but by what you're doing, you are doing what a DOJ should be doing. So whenever you appear as a DOJ, and people are looking for Victor. So you now realize that it's now a clash of identity against functionality. You keep thinking that people don't appreciate you. No, it's not as if they don't appreciate you. Because if you come in a work organization, this thing brings problem. That's why you see it brings unhealthy competition in a workplace. Sometimes you see people blame their employer, like I'm being kind of subjugated, maligned, discredited, not appreciated. No, the true position is that the man cannot identify you in the workspace. You are a different person doing a different thing, and you cannot be visible. So first thing first is to ask the question, what have I been doing? Why am I doing this? Then you now know how to get visible. Visibility is a function of identity and functionality. That's what I think.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that very insightful um, connection and grounding. Visibility, is a function of identity. That's really foundational, because I want to link that right now to the mindset that professionals and high performers actually have, at work. Like we said earlier, they believe that once I do my work, I will be noticed. My work should speak for me. But the truth is, in modern careers, in real organizations, that's not true. Your work don't speak
Oh
for
yeah?
you. You speak
No,
for
no.
your work, you
For your
know.
work,
And
exactly. Exactly.
exactly. And hard work is important. Hard work is honorable, but visible work is what changes careers, you know. And I just wanted us to have a context for our conversation as we have talk about identity. I don't know if I think you have something you want to add your voice to before we go on.
Yes, I wanted to, if you will permit me, to make
Okay.
a reference to, biblical account, so that you see where this issue of um, visibility was clearly painted and was served in if you go, I think is that Matthew 5:13, where Jesus was talking. He said first, he said, you are the light.
Yes, go ahead. I'm with you. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead.
If you go to, you leave 13 and go to 14, you see where he started by telling people, he say, you are the light. So when somebody said you are, what is he trying to tell you? He's defining you. He's trying to say the foundation of your visibility is the knowledge of your identity. You have to first of all identify who you are first, then your functionality, because it is being first before doing. But the conflict is always, doing as against being. Because in doing, what you manifest is who you are. Subconsciously. He now told them, he said, you are the light, a city set on a hill which cannot be hid. What is he talking about? He's talking about visibility. In the other account, he went further to say, you cannot light a candle and put it under a bushel. So a candle is meant to stand on a candle stand. That's talking about positioning now. But look at where it started. You have to identify who you are as the light. From identifying yourself, the next thing is your positioning before your functionality. Most times, we are functioning in a wrong position. You cannot be visible. That's just very simple. Your identity, of course, the moment you understand who you are, you should know where you ought to be. Some of us are in the wrong place, doing great works, doing great things, but on a wrong place. Because as a light, you must be set on a hill. There is a positioning for you. And how you should be able to know, understand your positioning is by knowing who you are. I was talking to somebody, I made an illustration. I said, when you see a fish that knows itself, no matter how the fish try to be versatile, diversifying, there is little or nothing you can achieve on a soil. Why? Does it mean that functioning on a soil is wrong? No. But because you are a fish, your positioning is in the water. You have little or no business on a top soil.
Environment.
Environment matters. So what determines your positioning is the knowledge of your identity. When you understand who you are, you know where you ought to be. You know your playground, you know your sphere, you understand your niching. The moment you fit in there, you function appropriately, and anything you do there will definitely speak. Visibility is when what you do speak. Why? Because your pace of grace and advancement is set in your area of grace, and your area of grace is determined by who you are. A fish does not need rehearsal, skill, or training to swim. You get the point?
Yes.
That's just the in thing to solving this problem of visibility. First of all, who are you?
Amazing.
Secondly, where are you? Where are you? Where you are, is it where you ought to be?
Amazing. I want to pick up on that thought, of
Yes.
where you are, where are you? Is that where you ought to be? And
Yes.
Why this conversation is actually very needed at this point is because of the kind of frustration so many people face, being in the wrong place, positioning,
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
Positioning is
look at
very
the
important.
workplace. Absolutely. Let's look at the workplace, for example. You have two people who are given a particular project, and they are working on this project. One person, let's say Mr. A, brings out his own work, right? And then he does not
Mm,
keep it silent. He makes sure that it is out there, positions it in a place where people that need to see it sees it. And then there comes another
okay.
person who just go ahead, sees his work, and then closes it, and then goes just like that onto the next one. The truth is, the difference is not competence. The difference
It's
is
not
what? Visibility,
discipline.
absolutely. They are
Yes.
not lacking in talent. It's what you are talking
Mm-mm.
about, that positioning and being intentional in doing
About
what
it
you've got to do. Now,
to do.
exactly. Now, let's at this time, I want us to go ahead and talk about, give our framework. Okay, now we have given the background, we've seen what this looks like. Now, let's quickly give a hand to someone who, in their office, in their work at this moment, they've seen that they are competent, but they are not actually getting their work where they've got to go. Let's get out maybe about 3 or 4, framework that can get someone out of this particular issue. First of all, I want to talk about communication visibility, and
All right.
I want you to go ahead, talk to us. How does communication visibility, being able to communicate what you do, how important is this in the workplace? Talk to us about that, please, Mr. Dioje.
Okay. Whenever it comes to communication visibility, I usually use the word translate. Translate. Because we as humans, we exist in dimensions. We exist in different frameworks. Frameworks as regards to our mind. It's just like illustrating. Let me use power illustration now. There are 3 dimensions to power, electricity, I mean. You generate, you transmit, and then you distribute. These are 3 signature framework of human operation. First thing is this: you cannot transmit what you have not generated. Communication is that act, that ability to translate your work into a communicable or marketable form where it can be accepted. What am I saying this? You can actually have a good product, but your inability to present it, because the essence of communication is presentation, is packaging.
Let me come in there quickly. If I will
Yes,
interrupt
sir. Go,
your thought line
right.
for a moment, I was just having a conversation with someone, and I was just telling the person that people who communicate their value gets more recognized than people who just create value. So it's
Exactly.
not just enough to create value. You've got to
Value
be an expert at communicating the value that
communication.
you create, because that value, you are the only one that knows how powerful it is. You are the only one that knows what that thing can do. It has
Mm.
to be communicated. Please go ahead. I just wanted to interrupt you and
Okay.
have that.
All right. See, until you say I am, nobody will say you are.
Mhm.
That's what that communication is all about. Ability to, you have generate, you have the value, you have the skill, you have the knowledge. Now, ability to translate this to a point it is accepted, whereby you have that momentum. There are elements and factors that play into it. First is language. Language of communication. There are business language. There are professional language. Every sphere, every industry have its own, it's called jargon, have its own language and communication. But first thing first is packaging. How have you been able to package this value that you have? Take for instance, somebody who said the only difference between pekere and plantain chips is just packaging. Plantain chips, the one you and I buy on the roadside, and sorry, pekere is the local um, chips you buy on the
Yeah.
roadside, even as you're driving. While plantain chips is the one you go to the mall, a shopping mall, or a supermarket to buy. What changed? Somebody painted an illustration. He said, you come a street, you drink Coca-Cola, a bottle of Coca-Cola, 500 naira, just along your street. You move from that place, you go to supermarket, you probably buy 600 or 700 naira. The same Coca-Cola, the same bottle shape, the same content. Nothing changed. You move from that same place, you go into a hotel, or let me say a grocery shop. You can buy it 1,000 naira, or say 2,000, depending. But there is a place you get to. That same bottle of Coke, you can buy it for $1,000.
Mhm.
So now, packaging, placement, these are all in the chain of communication. To being able to communicate, that's why I use the word translate, where it can be appreciated by another person. So packaging is very important, where your placement determines your value.
And
I
that's
don't know
and
if you
that's
get that point.
positioning. And that's
That
positioning
same
that you were talking about.
positioning, yes. That same
Absolutely.
positioning.
Absolutely.
That same
You know,
positioning.
as regards that, there is a particular story that's going around, about a father and a son who had a particular. He took a stone, I think it's a precious stone, but he did not
Mm.
know. So he said, um, he sent him to take it to a particular shop. They priced it. So he asked him to go to another place. As he was changing location, the value of that stone was changing. He went to a particular place, they said it's worth $5. He went to another
Okay.
place, they said it's worth $100. He went to another place, they said it's worth $5,000. So as he was changing location, so positioning is actually very, very key.
It's very
Thank you so
key.
much for
Very key.
yes.
Yes.
Eh, having talked about communication visibility, the fact that
Yeah.
we've got to communicate our value, even in the workplace, when you go through projects or you handle projects, don't just leave it like that.
Like
Document
that,
it,
yes.
have it
Document it.
sent to people who are ahead of you. Someone was, I think, Mr. Eric, yes, on his blog, he was saying something like that, Eric Garcia, and then he
Mm.
said one powerful thing about communicating, your value at work. He said every Friday, have a list of everything you have done throughout that week and send it to
Wow.
your superior as a summary, so
Wow.
that, because the truth is your superiors at work, your leaders at work, they have so many things on their hand, on their plate that they are doing, so that
Yeah.
they are not left in the dark concerning what you are doing. And
Mm.
this particular thing has kept so many people in a state of frustration, because you are working and then your superiors are, their hands are full with their own, and you are giving in your best, but there
Yes.
they're not paying attention to what you're doing. So just like what we're talking about, communicating your value is very, very
Very
key.
important.
Yes, let's talk about relationship visibility. How
Okay.
important relationship to visibility in the workplace? Talk to us, please.
Okay. Relationship is, if not one of the strongest dimensions of visibility, because anything you're building it for another. We exist for another. Um, every product is created to serve another product. Take, for instance, you have a bottle of water. That bottle of water is in a container. There's a content, which is the water. Imagine that same water without the container. How visible can it be?
Mhm. They've
So,
got to be
meaning
related.
if the water decide to declare independent from the container, you have made yourself invisible. The reason you go to a store and you pick a can of water or a bottle of Coke, I keep mentioning Coke, is because it has connectivity. And that connectivity of other products. When you take the Coke, you don't eat the bottle, do you? But that Coke, it can never be visible without the bottle. The same way, the bottle can never be visible without the label on it. Imagine you go into a shop and you see a bottle of water without a cork. Will you buy it? You will not buy it because you will think it is
No.
contaminated. Why?
Yeah.
Because somebody is missing. There's a contributor. The cork, the lid
Mhm.
that covers the bottle. Without that lid that covers the bottle is useless. So without relationship, your value is useless. So what does it mean? Most times, what you need is credible relationship to amplify what you're doing. We are talking about positioning. Even the positioning can actually be enhanced by relationship. Okay, take for
Mhm.
instance now, we came in
Mhm.
contact, just like what I'm benefiting from my engagement with Swift. I have been doing what I've been doing all along. But just a relationship got me in contact with Swift through somebody. who got me engaged with Swift. And Swift is a global platform, just like that place we read in that scripture that said, a city that is set on a hill.
Mm.
So through relationship, I have gotten access to a global platform to now be able to market what I am selling. So what it means is that you need relationship. Is relationship that leads to system. What is a system? System is when individual structures come together which have prerequisite function, decide to connect to each other, you form a system. So you can't stand alone and be visible, because sometimes you even see that the platform you need to be visible may be what somebody has to give.
Mhm, mhm. And just to interrupt you in that particular area, the truth is,
Mm.
what you're saying is really, really true, because most high performers, one thing they do is they try to isolate themselves. They are just head
Exactly.
bent on the work. They want
Headband
to do the
on the
work,
wall.
focus on the work alone. But the truth is, work does create value, but relationships create visibility.
Visibility
And
is very simple, profound,
influence grows.
profound.
Yes. Influence grows where relationships exist. I would like to add
Of
that
course,
to
of
this
course,
conversation. That
that's
your
right.
influence grows where relationships exist. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm listening. Yes,
Awesome, awesome. All right.
yes.
So as we begin to round up, let's give us some insights already into what we have we are into our discussion tonight. Let's have some insights, at least something someone can take away from everything we
Okay,
have shared so far. Talk to us, please.
okay. There is another dimension of visibility I said I must point out, even though we're out of time. Because why I say it is most times is negligible. A negligible, I call it determinant of visibility. That is the resource of moment. In management, what you assemble, management starts where resources are. We know resources, organizational resources. We talk about material resources, financial, of course, man is resources. But there are two dimensions of resources that is negligible, but both are key major determinant of feasibility. First is moment. Most times in organization, people don't know that moment is a resource that must be managed and harnessed. The moment is given is a function of time. That's why you see people over time go obsolete, because they don't understand moment. What is visible in a time, in a moment, over time may be what invisible. Trends will render it obsolete. So when you have a clear understanding of time, which is moment, you now know how to scale up, how to follow the trend, and automatically it will affect your method, because method also changes per
Mm,
time.
mm,
So much as we consider all these other determinants, you should also consider timing. consider the resource of time, moment. So which is most, now go and check now, most businesses are gradually going off. Why? Because of what? Global trend, technological advancement. They were unable to catch the moment and utilize it to scale up. Utilize it to design your method and framework. So whenever I encounter people and I come in contact with high skill professional, which is the main audience of, or targeted audience of Swift, first thing I try to bring the consciousness to is, where are you now in what you're doing? Consider the time first. Consider the moment. Check the time. It's even in the Bible. He said a particular tribe in Israel, I think it's of the children of Issachar, they have an understanding of time. They know what Israel ought to do. So that understanding of moment helps you to understand what to do and how to do it, and enables you to scale up. So now back to the question, which is the object of our discussion, is this high level professional that are frustrated in what they are doing. And if you ask me, they should also take advantage of the moment. And what is in the moment is Swift Institute. That's what Swift organizational or operational framework is coming to bring answer to. And I'm not hesitating, if you will permit me. I'm not doing advert, but then I think the best product I can market to anybody now, a high level, under leveled, let me say, under leveled high professional, is to expose him to Swift. And I know, because Swift have the framework to re-engineer the process that will definitely lead to visibility. Because to me, under-leveled professional, high performance professional, your problem is just a problem of visibility. It doesn't necessarily mean that what you're doing is not good or you don't know. Some know what they are doing, but what is missing, the vacuum or the missing link there, is the visibility. And what we're bringing now, which is we're not just doing diagnosis, we're also bringing solution. We can't offer it only on this discussion, no. So the best thing is to refer the person. Come on board. Just buy Swift. Swift is a skill set. That's what I call it. Skill set for under-leveled high performance professionals. All you need is just to buy the kit. You just buy the kit, and then you see yourself smiling, and is not gainsaying, is not gimmickry. I have seen it. I've been opportune to go through the framework of Swift. I feel the solution is Swift. If I will boldly say it, the solution is Swift for any on the leveled high performance professional.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, DOJ. And yes, the Swift Institute operates on 4 faculties: the faculty of identity, the faculty of clarity, the faculty of momentum and mastery. And yes, expect the programs. Just get ready to enroll in the programs. These programs, like David is talking about, have clear, structured frameworks that will move you from competence to positioning for
Yeah.
visibility, and positioning for promotion. All right, let's give our final words. Thank you so much, everyone who's joining us. Please let's say hello to people in the chat box. Let's just give us a yes. Give us a yes. Let's see how we are doing there. I can see Andy. I can see Chooks. Thank you so much, Mr. Chooks, for joining us. And I also see Gideon in the chat box. It's loaded. Give us a yes. Give us a yes. And please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to leave it in the chat box also. All right. As we close, competence creates value, but visibility converts your values into
Value.
opportunities.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's good. It's good that you
Profound.
are competent, and your competence will create value, but value alone is not enough.
It's not enough, yeah.
Visibility is what will convert your value into opportunities. And I want you to notice that your career changes when your work becomes visible.
Visible, of
Have
course.
an intentional structure and plan for the visibility of your work. David, please give us your final words as we wrap up tonight.
Okay. At the foundation of visibility, who you are is revealed.
Mm.
That's what I stand to leave whoever is listening, because visibility is just a manifestation of your reality and your functionality. Two things. So it's important you understand who you are, what you're doing. These two things now determine what you're having. Visibility is the outcome.
Mm.
Visibility is your outcome. So you don't start from outcome. You don't pursue outcome. You start with being, doing, and then having. So who you are, what you do, of course, in what you do, you understand why you do it and how you do it. Definitely, it will give you the visibility. Most of us go into our career world or business with a distorted mindset of ourselves. And definitely, it's going to affect your operation, and it will definitely affect your outcome. I think that's my final word.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for such an impactful session. Mr. David is a high sought out HR consultant and is the HR of the Swift Institute. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for your time tonight. And to
Thank
our
you,
beautiful
Mr. Victor.
audience, please join us again on Tuesday next week, same time. Have a lovely week and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much, Mr. David.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.